Well, Sabbath greetings to everyone. Hope you've had a wonderful day, and I hope you've had a wonderful week. It has been a good week here in Sussex overall. We've had a little bit of excitement here. My daughter Jamie just got her braces put on, and she's been in a terrible amount of pain, and so that's been exciting. And yet we're hoping very soon she'll pass from this extremely painful stage, and it does pass, but she's got a whole head full of braces right now, so she's getting acclimated to that, so that's been somewhat exciting. Also tried to give a Bible study on Wednesday night, as some of you know that were there, and the streaming service, I had some terrible technical difficulties there and finally just lost the service altogether. And then I tried to bring it back up, and my computer would not bring the encoder back up. The streaming service would not come back up, so I had to reboot the whole system. And because I rebooted the whole system, there was an update waiting, and I couldn't turn it off. And so, lo and behold, it was 10 or 15 minutes later before I could get things back up and running. So I decided, well, I'll try again. And I actually planned on doing that this coming week. I was going to do it on Wednesday night, but instead I decided to just get up Thursday morning. I got a few things done Thursday morning, and then I started from scratch and pre-recorded the Bible study, and it is up now at our LCG webcast, just using the same password and credentials that you've used in the past. It is up now as, I think it's just dated 3/2/2017. I haven't figured out yet if I can go in there and change the names of those, or if it's just going to continue to be a date. But hopefully I can put some description in there, so instead of just going to a date, you know what you're actually going to be viewing. But at any rate, I did get the Bible study done. Sorry about all the technical difficulties, and you'll notice if you do watch the Bible study that probably, I don't know, maybe it's 10 or 15 minutes before the end of the Bible study, I didn't realize that the sun, as it was coming up in my office window, it was fine until about 10 or 15 minutes until I was done, and then the sun just started streaming through the top of my window where there is no shade up there. So that is why I get drowned out there for the last 15 or 20 minutes. I had trouble figuring it out. I was trying to figure out if maybe it was a technical glitch with the software or my camera or something, but I do think it was probably more than likely just the sun flowing in through the upper window in my office. So sorry again, I apologize for all those technical difficulties, but Isaiah Part 2 is out there and up for your viewing if at your leisure. So just wanted to let you know that. So we plan on being in the Dells this Sabbath because of some unforeseen circumstances. I believe the last scheduled time I was supposed to be there I missed. I think I was sick or had to reschedule or something. But anyway, it's been a while since I've been there, so I'm looking forward to seeing you there in the Dells, and the rest of you we'll see in the weeks ahead. Of course, we're coming up on Passover, so we all do need to be obviously very focused on that self-examination process. It's so very important that we really try to dig deep and look deep within ourselves and see the things that are still pieces of our character that need to be refined. And that's what we're to do in these times of examination. We do want to see how God has been merciful in helping us to see things throughout this last year that have been revealed to us, and therefore we've been able to make some changes. That's called growth. We do want to see some growth, but we also want to make sure that we take it seriously, that we're always going to have parts and pieces of our character that need to be refined and need to be examined and need to be changed. So even before the Passover, of course, we've had this church-wide fast on the 18th, is that right? That's been, and I'm so grateful for that, because fasting is such a powerful tool, and it's pretty great tool whenever we do it together as a church, and even outside of the Day of Atonement, we get the opportunity in a special way, because we are God's people, and when we're given that opportunity, we certainly want to do everything we can to be together and to have that solidarity and to have that unity of a day of fasting is a powerful thing. And so we're looking forward to that. I'm sure everyone's looking forward to that. It is, often painful, but it does prove to be a very helpful thing as we see Satan doing his best to discourage us and distract us and do all that he does. We can come together in this way, and in that way we are drawing close to God. And if we draw close to God and we resist the devil, then he flees from us. So these fasts are very, very helpful, very beneficial tools. And of course, we know as we lead up to that, then certainly Satan could very easily try to intervene and distract and try to discourage us all the more as we have a fast coming up. So we want to make sure that we're aware of his devices and we're very cautious and careful leading up to that fast. And of course, Isaiah 58, which we probably won't get there until next year. I'm kind of teasing, but we're going pretty slowly through the book of Isaiah. But Isaiah 58 is fasting. And my heading in my Bible says fasting that pleases God. And so that's going to be something we'll want to review and look at and try to develop that mindset and be ready for that day of fasting. In verse 6 of Isaiah 58, it says, "Is this not the fast that I have chosen? To loose the bonds of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, to let the oppressed go free, and that you break every yoke? Is it not to share your bread with the hungry, and that you bring to your house the poor who are cast out? When you see the naked, that you cover him, and not hide yourself from your own flesh? Then your light shall break forth like morning, your healing shall spring forth speedily, and your righteousness shall go before you. The glory of the Lord shall be your rear guard, and you shall call, and the Lord will answer. You shall cry, and he will say, Here I am." And so there's another attitude that is expressed here, starting at the beginning of chapter 58. They seek me daily, in verse 2, and delight to know my ways as a nation that did righteousness and did not forsake the ordinance of their God. They ask of me the ordinance of justice, and they take delight in approaching God. Why have we fasted, they say, and you have not seen? Why have we afflicted our souls, and you take no notice? In fact, of the day you fast, you find pleasure and exploit all your laborers. So this whole concept of fasting is related to an attitude. It's related to a focus. It's related to our hearts and our true character. That's how big these fasts are and how we approach them. Any kind of fasting, it's not okay to just fast. We have to have the right attitude and the right approach. And what he's saying there in the first verses I read, starting in verse 6, is that, fasting in the right way, we are fasting to draw closer to God so that we can bear more of the fruits of God's Holy Spirit, so that we can be a more positive example to other people, so we can have the right approach to our brothers and sisters, so we can even have the right approach when it comes to people in the world. We love all people, and we try to set an example and be a light to, who are we supposed to be a light to? We are lights to the world, setting an example and being a light to them. And so, if we have that attitude, that fasting attitude that goes right along with that foot washing attitude that we need to have, that we're humble and we're teachable and we're meek, and that extends then in how we treat other people and how hospitable we are and how much we want to spend time with one another and love each other in that way. So let's all be really focused now before this fast, and certainly before the Passover, in having that humble attitude and that fasting attitude and that foot washing attitude. Not that we fast every day, not that we wash people's feet every day, but we have the attitude that we're supposed to be learning through those physical processes of fasting and foot washing. It's supposed to be teaching us an attitude that is a lifelong attitude. It's a character thing, and it's the kind of character we need to be growing in. So I hope you all have a fantastic Sabbath. I hope it's beneficial for you. I hope it's profitable. Enjoy each other, love each other. If you see new people, let's go up and let's make them feel welcome. Let's be inviting and loving. We may have some new people attending, and sometimes we do, and we hope they stick around, and we certainly want to be a part of making them feel welcome and invite them and love them. So anyway, it's gone on about 10 minutes now, so I'm going to end this here. I love you all very much. Please have a fantastic Sabbath. Take care, and we'll talk to you again real soon.